Everyone loves and adores the main characters in anime, but no matter how great they are, we sometimes bump into a side character that steals the show. So I have to ask the question. So which side characters do you feel steal the show?
I could choose a plethora of shows. You know, you want to go One Piece, Bon Clay, obviously.
Bon Clay does still... Bon Clay almost stole an arc.
Listen, Bon Clay steals every scene that he's in. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see him, and I'm probably never gonna see him again, which saddens me, but every time I see Bon Clay, he steals the show. Obviously, if you want to talk about Usopp steals the show. You know what I'm saying?
Usopp is a great side character that steals the show.
But
he has probably some of the most memorable moments
definitely.
I know of some arcs.
Definitely. But if you want to do like other shows like Bleach, Zaraki Kenpachi. Everybody loves Zaraki Kenpachi. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Because he's the only person whose sword doesn't listen to him, and he said, I don't need you. I'm gonna fight with this piece of metal, and that's it. Everybody else is a bankai and all that stuff. That man's like, listen, I got a piece of metal here, I'm gonna whoop everybody else. That's what it was. That's who he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why everybody loves him, because he doesn't need any help. It's just him against the world.
Okay, I like Killua from Hunter x Hunter. Mm-hmm. He steals these shows so much because I feel like his story is so deep for a character that's just supposed to be the supporting friend. Mm-hmm. You have the assassin family. You have moments where he's snatching hearts out of villains' chests. Mm-hmm. Every time I seen him, I'm like, yo, this dude could be the main character of this show, man. Like, Killua is a great character.
I ain't gonna lie, you had to go to Naruto, and one of the biggest side characters, the one that everybody talks about. A lot of people, this started your anime journey. Not for me, but for most. The Rock Lee versus Gaara fight. Rock Lee stole the show. Listen, if you're an anime fan, this fight,
yeah,
a lot of people propelled your anime love. It really did. And I ain't gonna lie, when I watched it, we all thought the same thing. Oh, well, them little weights he got in his hand ain't gonna do nothing. Them weights dropped, and it changed our lives. So again, well, you know what I'm saying, Rock Lee, as much, and when he got dropped for the first time.
Yes.
So again, there's a lot of characters that and that's one of my biggest, pet peeves with Naruto. The second part is he basically had no role after that. I'm like, come on, man, you can't give us golden Rock Lee in the first Naruto.
Yeah, wasted potential.
Naruto, he just had nothing to do with it really. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely Rock Lee obviously is a side character that stole the show from me.
Toto. Season 2 of JJK?
Absolutely.
Straight up.
Absolutely.
Toto stole the show.
Absolutely.
The entrance, his fighting style, the straight abilities that he showed throughout that entire season was phenomenal. He was the highlight for me, man. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people like, what's his name with the glasses? He fought the dude,
Nanami.
Nanami.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people love Nanami. I see the Nanami artwork and all of that. But man, I'm sorry, man. Toto's power was it was magnificent. And his intro, I think he said something about the Buddha says that I think he was quoting the Buddha as he walked in. I'm like, man, the hair was standing on the back of my head, man. And I was over here like, oh my goodness. Like this is crazy.
Like I said, there's so many, but to be honest with you, if I want to talk about side characters, there's so many side characters, and that's what I love about anime in general, is that you fall in love with so many random characters, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because I would say Naruto probably has some of the best side characters, that in One Piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Choji's fight, you know what I'm saying? Neji's fight. Y'all know Shikamaru is one of my favorite characters, dog.
Yeah, Shikamaru's like, straight up, like probably had one of the best fights in the entire series.
He fought an Akatsuki member one-on-one. So for me, like, and that's what I think brings a lot of love to anime, is that you just find some random character that just pops up and you're like, I like this guy. This guy is, you know what I'm saying, he does his thing. So for me, I think, you know what I'm saying, as far as side characters, Naruto is definitely one of the top ones. Obviously One Piece too, but I ain't gonna lie.
Even when the side characters don't get into a fight, they're just so lovable. Ranking of the Kings, what's his name? Damas? The one who trains him? Like, you just fall in love with the character immediately. The funny little lines, the way the character reacts to all the situations, you go, okay, yeah, I like this character. This is a good character.
I'll give you another one. And this is for me, I don't know about y'all, but Frieren, you know what I'm saying? Beyond Journey's End, I love Stark. And the reason why I love Stark is because he reminds me so much of what Usopp I think is gonna be.
Okay.
Stark
yeah,
is afraid. And I love that, like, because I've always said bravery is not the lack of fear, it's acting in the face of fear. Stark is afraid all the time. Stark's master was afraid the whole time. But them acting in the face of fear and how powerful they are, they made me fall in love with the character, because that's reality. People always think that, you know what I'm saying, when you do something, you're not afraid, or you're not questioning, or you're not nervous. That's not true. Everyone gets afraid and nervous and all these things. But just because you are afraid or nervous or scared, you don't let that stop you from doing what you have to do. And that's what I love about Stark.
I look forward to see how that character progresses.
Yeah,
I think he's going to have a real big role in the second season.
Yeah,
I don't read the manga. I'm pretty sure it does have a manga. But I'm really excited to see what he does.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
But side character that a lot of people kind of forgot about, but people love, is Trafalgar Law.
Oh yeah.
Law is just a phenomenal side character, and I believe he's about to have his own manga.
Oh, that would be dope.
I think it's going to be a short one from what I'm hearing, but Oda's I'm pretty sure that I saw an announcement where they say he's going to release the background of him growing up and forming his pirate crew. And that goes to show how great the side character is in general,
Definitely.
right?
I know Oda say he wants to do a spin-off of Ace's story.
Yeah.
Another side character that I absolutely love, you know what I'm saying? Ace was just that guy, you know what I'm saying? Especially because they show glimpses of the Stark Pirates. When Ace met Shanks for the first time and told him, hey, yeah, my brother knows you. And when Ace and Whitebeard fought, I just want to see how he dominated, because from what they said, and I think for the most part, he didn't even have a power. So he was just dominating people off just straight strength, you know what I'm saying? So I would love to see Ace's story and how he got to where he got to before he even got a devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? Before he came Five Fist Ace, he was a dominant force. So
I think a particular series that's carried by the side characters would be like One Punch Man. I feel like the side characters carry the entire story. It's all, like I said, I've said it before, I just don't feel like Saitama's the main character of the story. I feel like the side characters are the whole story. He's just a force that helps the story keep moving. So he's in the center of it, but it's everybody's story and their experience with somebody this powerful, right?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. There's only one character that's the greatest side character in One Punch Man. And it's Moomin Rider. Moomin Rider is the realest character out here, bro. Listen. This is why I tell people, man, it's easy to be the hero when you got all the powers, when you punching people one punch and you winning. That's easy. That's easy work. But Moomin Rider rides a bicycle to where he going. Moomin Rider is fighting monsters with nothing, and he's still fighting. I'm
character. Not gonna lie, those villains are too powerful for me to be pulling them with a bicycle.
He on a bike. What's up? I'm here. That is a real hero, bro. That's what y'all understand. That's a real hero.
I got my favorite characters in there, and they're all part of that S-Class group or whatever. Yeah. Atomic Samurai, Zombie Man. I love those characters. I think they really shine.
Another side character, Lemillion from My Hero.
Again, Lemillion.
His fight, and even when he lost his power, you gotta give Lemillion his respect. Especially because, and this is what I love about anime. No power is bad.
Yeah.
In anime, they can give a person a long foot toenail and Cub be the rawest character in the world, because in anime they find a way. The dog, his ability was so trash. He's slipping through the floor. He could die randomly. I was just like, this is crazy. And he turned that into being one of the greatest heroes. I ain't gonna lie, boy, they had to take his power away because he was whooping people. Him going towards your eyes, he was whooping people, man. So Lemillion, shout out to you, bro.
Straight up, I love it though. Work with what you got.
Yeah.
But before we go any further into the next segment, let's take a cosplay break.
Japan's popularity is at an all-time high, and it seems like everyone is planning a trip, which is phenomenal for their economy and the art we love so much. So I have to ask the question,
why is everyone all of a sudden so obsessed with Japan?
There's multiple factors. One, Japan is a paradise. Let's just call it what it is. Most people nowadays learn about the Japanese and how clean they are, how nice they are, how little crime there is. I mean, people talk about how you can just leave your wallet, in Japan, and walk somewhere else and come back, your stuff's still there. Listen, in the US, it ain't like that. It's definitely not like that. I'm not leaving my wallet anywhere, boy. If I go to the gym, my wallet fall out of my pocket, I come back, I'm hoping my junk ain't gone. That's just not how it is. So that in itself is obviously a big part of it.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
I think it's because it's untouched. It's an untouched first world, right? You have situations where they got to develop their culture in a particular way that's different from everybody else. So it has this spectacle factor. You go there, the buildings are different, the people are different, the music is different, their obsession with anime, like everything about them is unique. So people go there and they're just blown away by how different it is from the rest of society, because you could travel through Europe. I've been all over the Caribbeans. You could travel through the Caribbeans. You could travel North America, South America, so on and so forth. And you'll see like these similarities between everybody, right? Especially when you talk about crime. You go to all these places, there's some level of, crime. But then when you go to some place like, let's say Japan, and that has a very, very low crime rate and people are friendly, polite, that's real different. Especially when you talk about politeness.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, most countries, everybody wants to be mean in a particular way, right? Either they say, oh, it's not that these people are mean in this country, they're just not social the way y'all are in America. Or, oh, these people are like this because of this group of people that live in their country. Like, no, like, Japan is just, like I say, untouched in a particular way. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that they're being influenced, of course, by all this tourism, and I know there's tourism issues. I think this year, no, it was last year, they had 37 million people visit the country, which is, first of all, that's insane for that little island. Yeah. Like, I think they only have like 120 something million people that live in Japan. So to have like 40 million people show up basically is absolute madness. But they still keep themselves, right? And because they're like that, their artwork has that element in it that's different. Their storytelling structure is different from what we're used to. So that's what everybody's obsession is. Whether you like anime, manga, or just, really nice people, they have something for everybody.
I also think that, as far as tech, they're very advanced. Obviously, there's a whole saying that, they're not technological advanced, you just live in the United States. And they say that because, they got bullet trains, they got all these things that, we don't have over here. And we're like, dang, Japan's really advanced. Well, not necessarily. They just use their money to, the tax dollars and everything to actually improve their culture and their location. Whereas in our country, a lot of politicians and all that stuff are just pocketing money and all that stuff. So that's part of the reason. And as well, like you said, I think, yes, their culture is great, but it's even amplified even more because a lot of our, entertainment and things of that nature have declined dramatically.
Yeah.
Even the Marvel series, Star Wars, Witcher, all that stuff, they're pale in comparison.
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's really, really bad to the point where everybody's just shifting to what's the best, entertainment form, which is anime at this time. Their stories are better. Their story structure is better. The development of the characters is better. So everybody's just going to what the best product is. And right now, the best product is anime.
It is true. And you got to realize that when a society is clean, organized, it's easier for you to think. Like you've had a dirty room that you cleaned up, and once all the clutter is gone, you feel better. You feel like it's easier for you to think.
They says a cluttered mind causes a cluttered room causes a cluttered mind.
Yeah. So imagine a whole country is not cluttered, right? You see it and you're like, wow, this is very organized. This is beautiful. Like, you've seen countries that are real cluttered. Like you got Middle Eastern countries that are pretty cluttered. You have India. India has a lot of clutter to where it almost clouds the mind, right? So even the UK has a lot of clutter. Everything's everywhere. It's like a perfect balance between nature and still a suburban metropolis situation, right?
But I also think Japan is also very inviting. So
it is.
Like I think they have the same basically, whereas losers in other countries are like praised here, because a lot of the people, a lot of the weebs just in our country, you know what I'm saying, people like, and RDC World 1 and most people have talked about it, where at a point in time, especially with me when I was growing up, anime was not embraced. You know what I'm saying? If you was into like, video games, anime, all that stuff, it was frowned upon. You know what I'm saying? You were seen as a nerd or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? And they embrace that culture. So if you go over there, you're embraced, you're treated, with respect, instead of, in certain places you're seen as different or weird. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, that mindset is changing nowadays.
It is.
Where you see streamers
slowly.
Slowly. You know what I'm saying?
Because I do see, they still take shots at things that men like. Which is kind of crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But like you see streamers and gamers and stuff like that are making a lot of money, but it's still like, certain groups of people still don't recognize it as being something of value. They're like, if you play video games, you still hear that sometimes. But in other cultures, or just in Japan in general, they accept that.
You have generations of family members that play games.
Exactly.
Like, can you imagine sitting in a room, your mom's playing the game, grandma's playing a game, she's on her Game Boy, whatever the heck, you know what I'm saying? She's vintage stuff she probably bought. Like, that's it's not something you're gonna see in America.
And then also, even the manga thing, you know what I'm saying? Over there, like, it's very common to see people just reading manga books and stuff like that. Whereas if I have a manga book over here, they're like, you know what I'm saying? It's still kind of jarring for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And also, their ability to, you know what I'm saying, always adapt and go with the times as far as technology. When XRP, crypto and all that stuff was going on, they were just the forefront of like, yeah, we'll accept this, we'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? They're willing to accept new technology and new innovation, whereas a lot of other countries are very slow to adopt. You know what I'm saying? And it's because, they're very wary of things, but
they embraced AI. They're embracing it very fast.
Definitely,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
Even what I hear about them deciding that they're going to do like AI dubbing, where the actors that they have in their country's voice can be used and translated into English. Like, that's ahead of your, a little bit ahead of your time, I'd say, right? I know a lot of people have their gripes about AI and so on and so forth, but man, if you want the most accurate translation, maybe that's the way to go.
And then here's the thing too, like, I know people have, their problems about technology and how things are growing and things, but it's still gonna, like, even whether you dislike it or like it, it's still gonna progress.
Still coming.
So like, whether you are for AI or against AI, it doesn't matter, because they're not gonna stop improving on AI. So it's better to understand it, learn it, and adapt to it than fight against it and then still have to adapt to it at a later time. And that's why I think Japan does a good job of, is that they'll adapt to things, get very good at it, you know what I'm saying? Even with for example, Nintendo. Nintendo is what Nintendo is. Everybody, a lot of people are obsessed with graphics and all that stuff. Whereas Nintendo is just like, man, make a good game.
Make it fun.
Make it fun. Like, I'm be honest with you, I'm playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom right now. I'm having a great time playing Legend of Zelda, and it's not crazy graphics or whatever, but it's just a very good game. And I haven't enjoyed video games for a while now, because everything there's no real stories, there's no real development. Like, it just
seems like a money grab.
Yeah,
it's always like, they're trying to get you these DLCs. They're trying to just milk you as much as possible. That's what I see in it. That turns me off also. Listen, it's okay to make money. We want you to make money on your art form. But when it seems like that's all you care about, and you don't care about the art form comes secondary, third in line to your money, then it becomes an issue, because we the people, we feel it, we experience it.
And
right?
One of the biggest things I would say about Japan is they're willing to take risks.
Yes.
Because in our entertainment industry now, nobody wants to do anything that might be a risk, because they don't know, they want the return on their money. But again, new stories have to be written and told.
Yes.
In Japan, they're very good at
new lore must be created.
New this, new that, new anime, different types. I mean, they did an anime that people were pissed off about, the fat elf, whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but you know what I'm saying? It's the idea of doing an anime about a fat elf is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything they do is always different and new and interesting and taking risks. And that we need to start doing that again, man. We need to start taking risks, because it may be a boom or it might be a bust. But the fact of the matter is, you still have the opportunity, and it could be something great.
Now, hopefully this year, I could take a trip to Japan and we could document it for y'all.
Hopefully.
So we'll see. One Piece has undoubtedly been the king of anime for years, but we have a new challenger named Dandadan. And with beautiful animation and a healthy serving of storytelling, we have to ask the question, can Dandadan ever surpass One Piece?
Well, this is it depends on what you're asking. Obviously, I don't think Dandadan will ever get past it in length. Cultural impact, I don't see it. But it can do something that One Piece isn't doing. One Piece, obviously, as great as it is, Oda already stated that he's not really gonna show the emotional or love factor in it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
as much
that's
as,
true.
As much as you know what I'm saying, everybody know Luffy gonna get with Nami and Zoro gonna get with Robin, all that stuff. He's not gonna address that aspect.
Yeah.
What I love about Dandadan and what makes it different, but and definitely could surpass One Piece in, is the relationship between
Akun?
Okun and what's the girl's name? I don't know. But yeah, their relationship is what's gonna push Dandadan over One Piece. In the sense that because their relationship is symbiotic, they need each other, and you don't really get that from One Piece. A lot of the Luffy fights and stuff like that, it's basically just Luffy handling business. As much as let's say Zoro fights his character and Sanji fights his character, they don't really actually intertwine at all. It's never them jumping somebody. Most times it's just one-on-ones. Whereas Dandadan, a lot of the conversation, a lot of the fights, a lot of situations, if one of them is not there, they're kind of SOL.
Yeah, that's true, but I do believe the show's gonna have solo fights. Obviously, there's gonna be epic moments where somebody shines. Now, where I could give it kind of a little nudge above One Piece is the fact that the animation started off great. Obviously, it's coming out around this time, whereas in One Piece started in like the 90s or something like that. But the animation gives it a little head start, if you will. Now, when you're talking about the relationship dynamics that are in the actual show, I do believe that is something that's gonna draw people in more than One Piece, right? Because a lot of people have these fan fictions of the dating, but it doesn't really happen for real, and it's never going to happen for anybody who's wondering. But Dandadan is like basically playing on that, pulling everybody in. Also, I believe that Dandadan needs to go deeper into the lore of what the show is capable of. If it goes really deep into the lore, it may start to make some ground, because it's very hard to beat One Piece when it comes to lore, because everything could have a conspiracy theory. Everything is speculated. All the mysteries are laid out. It's years and years of us figuring things out about the show, and that's what makes it hard to beat One Piece.
I don't know, it's tough because even with Dandadan, like, okay, for instance, right? A lot of stuff is yokais, aliens, stuff like that, whatever.
Correct, which has a lot of lore in itself.
I don't really see, now, character development, stuff like that, whatever, that's gonna be really hard to beat One Piece in, because, you know what I'm saying, they're supreme in that.
Yeah.
Animation, I can't really give Dandadan the edge on that because, like you said, if you're gonna grade on animation, you have to grade it in the time it's in. So I will have to compare One Piece now to Dandadan now. I can't compare One Piece, you know what I'm saying, now to 1999.
That's what I said.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, I can't really see. And I think animation, One Piece right now, is between that, Free Ren, you know what I'm saying? It's all like, you know what I'm saying, Mushoku Tensei. To me, there's only a few.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Correct. That are really like pushing the envelope as far as animation. I think Dandadan is well animated, but I don't see it as breathtaking as like Free Ren or, you know what I'm saying, or One Piece or anything.
It's a very pretty anime.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good. I just don't think I think there's levels to everything. You know what I'm saying? I would say, if I had to grade it, I would say One Piece, Free Ren, Mushoku Tensei was like S class, and I would say Dandadan's A. But, you know what I'm saying, if we're talking about surpassing, I think what will really take Dandadan the next level, and obviously we don't read the manga, so we're going off, you know what I'm saying, the anime, is that there's some kind of crazy twist that like nobody seen quite coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That to me, because and One Piece still has, you know what I'm saying, its twist that could be coming.
A lot of twists are coming.
You know what I'm saying? But Dandadan, you have like it has to stand out. It has to show something that a lot of anime don't do. You know what I'm saying? Even like what people love about Free Ren, for example, is it's kind of like a slice of life, but you see all these, you know what I'm saying, kind of situations of, you know what I'm saying, fights, and you know what I'm saying, it's more of like, I feel like it's more of a slice of life than like a shonen action. Dandadan to me like I said, the love story, and if they have a crazy twist, I think that will, you know, put it in its own stratosphere. I don't really see it being in lore or like, because again, One Piece is so dense. It's such a dense, you know what I'm saying? Like they go to so much, you know what I'm saying, description and like they tell so much of the story. It's hard to beat it in lore in that sense.
I will say this. It's going to come down to power scaling. Everybody knows the power system in One Piece is second to none, right? We're talking devil fruit, we're talking hockey, we're talking all types of stuff going on in that particular show itself. Dandadan has so far a very simplistic power system, right? You get the ghost or demons, whatever power, and then you utilize it. And it seems like each character is starting to get one or the other, and they have like one ability to use. Whatever they decide to do with that is what's really going to sell it for me. And when I said lore, there's you said it, the ghosts, the yokais, and aliens. Aliens itself, and let's just stick to aliens. Aliens itself has the craziest lore, and they already tapped into the UAP situation that's going on currently with the government. All the governments talking about aliens and stuff like that. If they're gonna go deep into it, we could go into reptilians. We could go into Greys. We could go into Palladians. We could go into all types of UFO lore, and they could play this part where they're battling all these things that have been in that sphere.
What I love about Dandadan though is the play on aliens and yokai are similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that in itself makes things very unique because I watch a lot of anime. They always talk about yokais, demons, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see many that talk about aliens, and the connection of those two, I think, makes things really unique. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I think really draws you to the anime is that I never thought of that connection. I never thought of, okay, you know what I'm saying, what if aliens and demons were, you know what I'm saying, connected somehow and, you know what I'm saying, they interact or intertwine. All that stuff to me, it seems really unique and interesting, a very interesting thought process. Like you said with lore, like even with the demon lore, it can get really deep. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
most definitely.
If you look into the Japanese culture, they have a lot of demons and yokais that do the most craziest, simplest things. Some of them, like, you know what I'm saying, just show up. Like their lore as far as yokais are so deep, and space. It like you said, it could be. And then whether they start going to, you know, traveling different planets, that could be another thing.
That could be another thing. They could play. They could play with that.
Yeah, they could play with that. So again, even with that, if you go into that aspect, let's say they do travel to different planets. Do other planets have their own versions of yokais? That could be another thing. So again, when you bring into space and demons and stuff like that, you have limitless, you know what I'm saying, talking points. Because again, since there's so few that people know about, you know what I'm saying, those topics, you can kind of create and, you know, play with any of those aspects.
But are we going to get deep background stories? One Piece is notorious for background stories. At one point we got a background story for a dog. A random dog in an episode got its own tearjerker background story. If they could give us something like that, I'm not saying you have to give everyone a background story. Nobody's Oda, Ichiro, the master, all right? But if you could give us just a hint, a taste of like what put us in the shoes of some of these characters, be it the aliens, or some of the yokais, right? I could probably say, okay, you're starting to do something here. Now, longevity, we've mentioned that you're not gonna go as long as One Piece. Nobody's doing that no more. You just have to create a very tight, cohesive, decently long story with some great lore, and you can make an argument.
But then here's a question though, right? Because obviously Dandadan is doing his thing, but so far, if I would say, you know, backstory, Demon Slayer has, you know what I'm saying, goes really in depth in the characters.
Yes.
It's gonna be difficult because you gotta be like, to me, outside of like, you know, One Piece, whatever, Demon Slayer looks like the new up and coming anime that goes deep into, you know what I'm saying, the psyche and the mindset of even the villains and other characters in the show. Whereas Dandadan, I don't know, again, like you said, it would have to go into, because they did a little bit with the crab alien.
Yeah, the crab did have his little background story.
Why he's doing this, you know what I'm saying, whatever have you.
And so did the acrobatic yokai.
Yeah, that's true.
I really liked that story.
Yeah.
That was a tearjerker.
Yeah.
That was something that was pretty sad.
That was really good. That was a really good one. And again, like I said, so I definitely see that, but I want to know, because I know the story gets deeper. Like,
of course.
We know that, you know what I'm saying?
It's anime. Of course it gets deep.
So I want to know what the real reason that all this happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that there's another reason why all this is happening. You know what I'm saying? Why they got it. Because again, if you think about the show, they only bumped into these creatures because of a dare. But why were these creatures in these areas? Now they did talk about the Turbo Grandma, whatever, you know what I'm saying, because of what happened to the girls, whatever. But I feel like there's more to her story. And same thing with the aliens. I feel like there's more to their stories. I want to know
Except wanting weenies?
Yes, I want to know what the deeper reason is. Why are these aliens coming to Earth? Is there, you know what I'm saying? Even the golden balls thing. Like, it seems like there's more to the story. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I can't wait till the next season to see where else is coming. Because from what I'm hearing, this show is one of the top.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting really high things from this.
Now, I definitely see where you're coming. But before we go into the next segment, let's take a cosplay break. With another season of animes constantly rolling around with action-packed sequences and phenomenal stories, we have to ask another question. What anime currently running or about to come out that you're most excited about?
So I got one for both of these. The anime that I'm excited about that's currently running is it Ronopiko Girls in the Dungeon season. That junk is amazing. So far the season is really good.
I just started that one. I'm really enjoying it. I know it's gonna build up and get a little more crazy. I think I just started season 2 if I'm not mistaken.
But you know, JC staff, you know what I'm saying, as much as I like y'all gotta get together. You gotta get together, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for it.
They're putting it out consistently. I got a good little cushion. I'm gonna catch up.
No. You having too many delays. You gotta figure it out, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, because I need my episodes. Right. Obviously, Is It Wrong to Pick a Girl in the Dungeon to me is really good right now. And what I'm waiting for is Mushoku Tensei. You know what I'm saying? The newest season. For me, it's like I said, animation in general is really good, but what I love about the show is all the twists and turns and the random, like, that show is one of the shows that really surprises you. When you see Turning Point or anything like that, you know things are about to get crazy. So I'm really excited for that new season. And I know it's not so much the more known, I mean, you know, I could have said Demon Slayer and things of that nature, but for me, those two I'm really excited about.
I'm really excited about One Punch Man returning. I am a big One Punch Man fan. Obviously, you know, I do a few videos here and there about One Punch Man, but I read the manga to somewhat of an extent, right? I'm a little ahead of what the anime is at, even because the anime has been off for God knows how many years at this point. But the arc they're entering in this season, I'm telling you, if you're not a reader, fire, all right? It's action-packed. You get to know a lot of the characters in a deeper level. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. So that I'm really excited about. And I'm also excited about the Infinity Castle Demon Slayer film. Because I think it's going to be an anime moment. Yeah. I think it's gonna be something that brings all of us anime fans together. We're going to pack theaters. We're going to watch it over and over and over. I think it's gonna set a standard for something that, you know, has never been done before.
Definitely, Demon Slayer, it's finna dominate. These theaters are finna be packed. And
oh yeah,
they're trust me.
Get your tickets ready.
Get your tickets ready. We'll be in there. But like for me, like I said, Demon Slayer, what I love about Demon Slayer, it cemented itself as one of the top anime. I don't care what, you know what I'm saying. That Attack on Titan, there's a few of them that are newer animes that to me cemented itself. Like I thought My Hero was gonna do it, but towards the end, it kind of, you know what I'm saying, started dipping for me. So, you know what I'm saying, for me, definitely Demon Slayer. Chainsaw Man movie. That I ain't gonna lie, man.
Did y'all see that Chainsaw Man trailer?
That trailer is like.
I might have to show y'all some clips of that.
I'm telling you. So for me, those are the ones like that I'm really interested in. And again, like I said, even, you know what I'm saying, ones that just started. Solo Leveling. First episode
Oh my God.
I know this season about to go in.
I can't believe we forgot Solo Leveling.
You know what I'm saying? So
that I'm very excited about.
So there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, this is my favorite time of year. When the new season, when you know what I'm saying, after Golden Week and all that stuff, January, they just start dropping fire. So fire, like there's gonna be. I got a lot of anime for the next 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be dropping just straight fire.
Oh, I think this is the year of anime.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna completely dominate. A lot of shows, a lot of genres have been collapsing, dying out because of certain situations. But now everybody's watching anime. I can't talk to a single person at my job who doesn't watch a particular series.
But the tough thing about it is, all the stuff that's been going on with the, you know what I'm saying, them trying to change things, them not wanting people to read mangas. So I want to see, like, that to me is the concerning part, because I think anime would dominate. I think anime is dominating.
Beating it.
And I think, you know what I'm saying, especially with Marvel and all them trying to, come back and make a resurgence, I think they're gonna try to do something to kind of shift the focus back to them, because
they could try all they want to. You cannot get me back. I'm sorry. He'll tell you, I'm one of the biggest sci-fi fans you'll ever meet. I've watched everything, and what they've done to all my series, man, you can't get me back after that.
Listen,
you've poisoned the well.
And
right?
I feel the same. I feel the same. You know what I'm saying?
I am anime 100%.
I'm entrenched in this, but again, like I said, the biggest question mark is, obviously the drama with Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And is Sony gonna think about creating their own, streaming service again?
Correct.
They have Funimation, stuff like that. So for me, you know what I'm saying, I know this probably basically year of anime is gonna be OP. But for me, like I said, that is the only thing I got on the back of my mind, because I need my anime. I can't have particular. I mean, obviously, streaming services and stuff like getting shut down. I need my anime. I can't have these boys take away Crunchyroll.
Oh, anticipation, Egghead.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Egghead.
We gotta talk about One Piece.
One Piece. Come on now. I'm gonna talk about One Piece. Like the Egghead arc coming. The animation work, they've already had 6 months off? 6 months off?
Yes.
Right? 6 months putting in work?
Bro.
Come on. It's gonna be a movie.
Guys, I read the manga.
Garp was a movie.
What's about to happen is gonna be lit. Bro. Again, it is the GOAT anime.
It is?
It is what it is. So especially, and you get these animators, they're doing light flares and all this, cinematic show episodes. They were doing each week. 6 months to create the greatest run that it's gonna be straight cinema. Yeah, that's what it is.
I already know that everybody. Sad to see Frankie's voice actor go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I've been listening to his voice for years. You already know, sub, no dub. All right, I'm sorry. So those voices have grown up with me, and it's sad to see him go. But I already know, man. The replacement's gonna do a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a movie. I think it's the dude from Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Yeah, that does Toto's voice.
That does Toto's voice.
But the thing that's even better, the way they handed over the voice acting role was amazing. Man took off the shorts. He gave. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's why I
nobody doesn't like the Japanese.
That's what I love about their culture, man. Is that, like, they make something as simple as changing their voice actor into some iconic moment. You know what I'm saying? And like, we were talking about this also, that you know what I'm saying, the music, man. I miss intro music in regular TV shows, because anime, we talking about Dada. One of the greatest intro songs out there, man. It started a wave. They do TikTok dances.
Yeah.
It was, and we don't get that in American TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's iconic. You know what I'm saying? And again, it makes it tough to follow up. So I feel bad for whoever is coming after season 1.
The new intro, people gonna scrutinize that new intro. They're gonna be watching it like, hold up.
This don't hit the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me,
I wouldn't want to follow that up.
But I just, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm really excited, and I think that they said Dandadan is coming out in like July.
Yeah. So it's almost like no breaks at this point.
Yeah.
Notice that we're just getting these seasons now constantly.
Mm-hmm.
They're keeping the momentum going constantly, and then you have things like Stranger Things taking like 4 years off between the seasons.
Taking like 2-3 years off. Like,
at this point, they're giving y'all 3 episodes, and y'all have to wait 5 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
And keep that.
What I love about, again, they're workers, man. They work. You know what I'm saying? They put in the time, they put in the effort. And again, the main reason is because they love what they're doing, man. A lot of these guys, you know what I'm saying, grew up on anime, grew up on manga, they love what they're doing, and that's just not the same vibe that we get, you know what I'm saying, in America. So for me, like I said, this run of anime about to be amazing, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, more anime to come, like I said.
One Piece has been going on a historical run, and every new project brings along a passionate fan base. So with the live action growing in popularity, we have to ask the question:
is Netflix going to betray One Piece fans?
For me, there's only one way this happens, and it's the worst way possible. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say it because it's too horrible, but if something were to happen to Oda Sensei, that's when I think
I would say that
this would happen. I think Oda cares for One Piece too much and has too much power for him to ever do anything nefarious. You know what I'm saying? They say he looks over everything, and they say he's very much will cancel everything if he feels like it's not going the way he wants it to. So I don't see it happening unless, like I said, something happens to Oda. But it still be tough because I think the Japanese culture in general, they're not going for that, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's the only way Netflix will ever actually have a leeway to try to tamper with things.
I don't think they're going for the things that you're saying that the Japanese would go for or won't go for, right? Mm-hmm. The strange thing about that is that they don't, it seems from all the interviews I've seen and all the videos I've watched, they don't seem to know much about what's okay and what's not okay outside of Japan. So sometimes they listen to these think groups that tell them, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And sometimes they take that and they go with that direction. That's how a lot of these gaming companies and a lot of these movie companies have started, creating subpar work. That's the best way to put it. So I think you can convince him to certain things and say, oh no, they'll find this offensive, so we're gonna change this to this. And he'll probably kind of lean towards it oh, okay, because he doesn't know. But I do believe that if it becomes big enough, well, it's already huge, but if it gets to a certain size, I do feel like Netflix would try to actually betray the fans, because Netflix has done that with The Witcher. Remember? They were following the story to an extent, right? And then they tried to pivot to a certain group of stories that they wanted to tell. And I already have my gripes with season 1 with the casting of Kobe, because I think Kobe should have been a guy.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, so that's a whole thing with me. But the person, the chick that did the job, she did a phenomenal job. But at the end of the day, we know what the character is, and we know how the character is supposed to be, and we know what role the character plays later in the series. If you're a One Piece fan, so it should have been a guy. But
to be honest with you, I think later in the series they're gonna probably do a switcheroo, because Kobe getting muscular, I don't see how she's gonna do that. But whatever.
Well, I just think they're just gonna ignore that and just kind of just play her just the way she is. I know Netflix. That's what Netflix is gonna do. But I do feel like they are going to try to play their cards sooner or later. They might try to play their card this season coming up. But I do feel usually they wait 3 or 4 before they try to do whatever they're trying to put into it. And you have to realize that a lot of the showrunners are American, right? And they want to put their print on Oda's work. They don't want to stay true to it, to the way we like it. They want to add a little bit of extra into it.
Here's the thing. Fans will leave. And that's what we don't understand.
Fans will.
That would be and that's what they don't understand. One Piece fans are die-hard fans.
Most definitely.
I think even with the Kobe thing, it was annoying, but it was a very small thing, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no drastic change. But let's say they try to do something drastic. For instance, one of my favorite characters everybody knows is Bon Clay.
Bon Clay.
If Bon Clay does not get arrested, I'm hot. I'm not gonna lie. You cannot change that. You cannot change pivotal moments in the show, because one, Oda built a great story. So now him getting arrested is pivotal for later in the show. If they change it, let's say he gets part of the crew, which they might do some dumb junk like that, I'm out.
Nah, that'd be a little much.
I'm out. That's what I'm saying.
That'd be a little much.
So when I say
Oda wouldn't clear that.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. I think that they'll try to do they're probably gonna do little small things. But I'm talking about massive changes to the story. I just don't think he's going for it. And I think that's what I mean. When you're saying, are they gonna betray fans? That's what I mean is a betrayal. A betrayal is something where should Kobe been a guy? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But there's not, even with the first season, I can't really think of that many You know what I'm saying?
No,
Outrage,
they did a
pretty
great
good
job. Besides
So,
besides the Marine storyline, Garp fighting
Yeah.
Luffy thing.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, I came into it very skeptical. I came into it wanting to hate.
I thought it was gonna be horrible.
I came into it wanting to hate. I'm not even gonna hold you. I wanted to hate the show. But to be honest with you, I watched it and I was like, this is a pretty good adaptation of One Piece.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the way they did Kuro, the way they did the show was pretty good.
The set design, the
set design,
costumes, so on and so forth. It was spot on. It was perfect.
Meow Brown,
they
they did the Meow Brown brothers. Now, mind you, they changed one of the Meow Brown brothers to a female.
And we were okay with that.
Exactly. So, but again, what I'm saying is, a lot of those changes were small, but they didn't really affect the story too much. You know what I'm saying? And like, kind of made a big difference, sure, but I'm talking about like major changes to the story. I'm talking about like.
Well, here's the thing. Some changes have to happen. It's going to be 7 seasons because I remember a couple of the actors say they're dedicated for 7 seasons.
Yeah.
They're ready to do it, right?
Yeah.
And we already know how long the story is. We're talking 1,000 some odd episodes condensed.
Which
now,
I don't think they'll be able to do all of it. But go ahead.
well, no, they're not going to be able to do all of it. They're going to skip a lot of it, which is okay with me. And when you're talking about 7 seasons, it means we have a few more years left of One Piece live action. And I also think Oda will be done in the next. I know I shouldn't say this, but Oda will be done with One Piece in the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
So with that being the case, I truly believe they'll be able to actually have a complete story, unlike the situation with Game of Thrones where they didn't have the last few books and they had to make up stuff. I don't think they'll have to make up anything. Plus they see the direction is going. They even hinted at Nika the Sun God storyline. I think it was during the guy who plays Usopp. There's a little teaser thing he did like last year, and if you're looking at the board behind him, it said not the board behind him, but he said that the actor who plays Luffy is our sunshine, right? They're kind of hinting towards that. So you're willing to go to Gear 5 Luffy already, so I already know you're planning on actually following the story to a certain extent.
Now I gotta say this before we continue, but the Game of Thrones thing was tragic. It was listen.
Everybody knows.
I have to state that this is the biggest tragedy I've ever seen. That show was so good and they freaking ruined it.
Most definitely.
And I have to go on this little tangent, but these writers that don't finish their works are getting me annoyed. The Game of Thrones dude, thank God, the creator Hunter started working again. He's been, staying healthy.
That's health issues.
Yeah, but
I give you a pass on health issues.
But like
the Game of Thrones writer, that dude was this dude was at conventions. I saw him at conventions.
Just a try. Like y'all got
get to work.
Yeah, do your job, bro. Just come on, dude. Like I ain't gonna lie, it was him smelling himself, bro. He started going to conventions. People started, bro, finish your job, huh? Finish your job, bro. Now back to the One Piece. Again, like I said, I don't think there's gonna be major changes. I just think that it's I would like to believe that in his clause he's saying that he has that, he has basically creative, control.
He actually went into it a little deeper than he did on the first season when he talked about that. It's not a clause, it's verbal.
Oh my God.
Netflix could go back on their word.
Oh no.
But Netflix, he said, but here's the thing, the Japanese honor system, he believes them. They said, crazy. They gave him their word that they're not going to do this and they're not going to release something unless he says so. Now, if he really was like, I'm not releasing this season, ever, Netflix could just go, listen, well, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. And they could just pivot onto their own thing.
I'm sorry, dog. Listen, they're liars, dog. They're liars, bro. They just straight lie to you. They just straight lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. Knowing that, my whole answer changed. They're gonna ruin this series.
They honored the first season.
Listen, they honored until they don't honor. We've seen them go back on things all the time. Like you said, it was the honor system to Henry Cavill. Oh, this is your show. The Witcher's your show.
No.
And as soon as they whatever.
Henry Cavill, that was plotted. I'm sorry, that was plotted. They plotted on him.
Listen,
they used him as the person to open the door to get male fans in, and then they started.
They did the same thing with Blade. They said, hey, you know what I'm saying, Marshall Ali, you know what I'm saying, you gonna be the next Blade. We got you, man. And what happened? He started reading that script. He said, oh no, I ain't doing this. Again, they're liars, bro. They are liars, bro.
No, the tide has turned. I'll be honest with you, the tide has turned. I've seen the way a lot of these corporations are starting to pivot and actually cater to the fans of the actual source material.
I feel like I can't say that yet. It looks like they're doing it, but I have to see the work first because they will definitely slide in some things when they have a chance. So even that's the problem, because at the end of the day, as much money as they lost, as much, you know what I'm saying, hate they're getting, like look what they're doing with the whole
people that work in these companies don't mind tanking your company. I will say that, everybody.
Yeah.
People that work at your company don't care about your company. They didn't build it from scratch. So for them, it's whatever they want to actually push. So they'll tank your company if you let them.
Look what they're doing with the the MasterCard Visa crap with the mangas.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bro. Like they just,
you're trying to dictate what these
people
artists in
put in
Japan
their
could
mangas.
write, could draw. That's crazy talk. And they're trying to say, well,
well, we don't like the content of what, and they're like,
Yeah,
but
but-
you support only.
yeah. Like if you're pushing that, then
Again,
all right.
and that's what I'm saying. So for me, it's like, it's always about, they just try to get one over on you. They'll go along until they feel like they can take advantage, and that's what they do. And again, so for me, like, as much as, and that's the sad thing about the Japanese culture, is that they do they are trusting people.
They are trusting.
But Americans, to be honest with you, are not really trustworthy. So
you've already seen what happens when Americans and other people head over to their country and what they're doing there.
And that's
Crazy. But with One Piece, I feel we'll know by the 4th-ish season if they are really trying to pivot away. Because right now, they're riding their high horse. Fans are going crazy for it. It's anticipated. Everything is going right. They're making money. They're gaining subscribers all over the world. Not just the United States, because this is a worldwide phenomenon here. So but we'll know.
But to be honest with you, my question is, what is there to gain in changing the story? Like that's what I don't understand about it. There is nothing to gain. Like, you don't gain anything. You only lose in this situation. You already have a secure fan base that have been supporting this thing for 20-some years. You have people all over the world. You got MMA fighters doing freaking the get a second pose. You got people got
Olympians.
Olympians. You got everything. Literally everything's in front of you. If they screw this, and that's, but I can't.
They had it cooked up because that with Witcher.
Like, it's like, I just don't understand what they have to gain when they do these things.
I don't think it's the executives at the very top. It's always the people you hire, because I've dealt with a lot of like high executives, and they don't know what's really going on in the company. They just kind of listen to what you tell them, right? So if you hire a certain group of people, they're gonna tell you certain things, they're gonna believe it, and the only time you find out is when your bottom line gets hurt.
I don't know, man. Hopefully, and again, I really like the first season.
Yeah.
It was very well done. And again, like I said, I came into it wanting to hate it. I really, really, really hope they don't mess this live action. Because let's be honest, they have a lot of live action bombs. Cowboy Bebop bombed. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many live actions that they did that just didn't pan out. You finally got one that hit. Don't mess this up for yourselves.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they don't betray the fans. Hopefully, just, you know what I'm saying, just stick to the source material. This is a layup if you ever had one. This is a straight up layup. Follow the story. Do what you're supposed to do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You already put the money into it. You went to freaking Africa to shoot this stuff. Like, just do what you're supposed to do. But again, verbal contracts are what they are. Verbal contracts. And people go back on their word all the time. So
now I hear what you're saying, but let's take a quick cosplay break before the next segment. As budgets for animes continue to grow, we have seen a consistent push for more content and more shows. So we have to ask the question, what anime do you think would make a great live action?
if I want to be honest,
Straight hit now.
again, so if I'm thinking about this, it has to be a secure fan base. It has to be something that can be done
Yeah,
with not too crazy of a budget.
correct.
If I'm leaning that way, I'm probably gonna do, like, is it Wrong to Put Girls in a Dungeon?
That would-
Mushoku Tensei.
That would be a hit.
Because a lot of them are elves, demons, things that we do in most shows nowadays, you know what I'm saying, Game of Thrones, you know what I'm saying, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. So I don't see that as too much of a hardship. As much as I would like to say the Jujutsu Kaisens or, you know what I'm saying, maybe the Attack on Titans, I think that would cost too much.
I think Jujutsu Kaisen would be a great one because I don't think it would cost that much because usually the big budget looking fights are near the end. Most of the things are just flashy abilities, things that we've done CGI.
I just think the domain expansion, especially, you know, and again,
domain expansion would be easy, man. I've seen low budget shows make stuff like that look cool.
I mean, for me, like I said, I'm leaning Izuran Pill Girls in Dungeon, Mushoku Tensei, because again, you know what I'm saying, elves and gods and stuff like that is stuff that we always do.
Yeah.
So I don't really see it as a big hardship.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, it's just kind of like a layup. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I think as much as Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, these things, I think Naruto has one actually.
A live action coming?
Live action. I think
that's going to be a solid hit. That's one of the ones I'd say would make a great live action. Yeah, Naruto, don't get me wrong, the budget's going to run you. But I think it's a certified hit. You can't miss on that.
Absolutely.
The fan base is too cooked up for too long, and it ranges so many age groups, right? So when the moment that comes out, it's going to be huge. But one I'd have to go with is Beyond Journey's End, Frieren, right?
Yeah.
Because you like what you said about elves, demons, so on and so forth. That show kind of fits a mold or a niche that covers everybody. Guys get what they want. Women get what they want. It has a nice story that flows from one story to the next. You could even add extra parts into it because the episodes kind of flow. I don't want to say they flow like a filler because they're so good, but they do. You could add in an extra adventure here and there to expand your story further. Definitely. So that would be an easy one. And with the fan base that it already has, that would be a hit show.
What about Made in Abyss?
Made in Abyss?
Made in Abyss, it seems like a pretty dope one as well. But I don't know if Made in Abyss still has the luster it used to have.
It doesn't.
So, I mean, I don't know if that would be a server hit. You got My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia would be huge. My biggest worry would be the actors that are in the show itself because they're supposed to be kids, right? So that's my big worry is that the budget and the way it moves would cause a situation where it's delayed for 3 years and they're older. It's delayed for 2 years and they're older.
Why do you think so?
They had this issue with Euphoria. They had the issue with Stranger Things. And these are on different platforms here. Every time they start to add like teenagers or kids into something, we get these weird like 2-3 year gaps between a season, and some of them don't even return.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I mean, I've seen it's been done. Harry Potter was able to do like
movies. I'm talking about like shows though. Yeah. Movies and shows. We could go movies and shows, but I really say shows. Yeah. It gotta be a hit, right?
Like I said, for me, that if I'm going, it has to be Izuran Quick Girls in Dungeon and you know what I'm saying, Mushoku Tensei, because like I said, a lot of other stuff is gonna, you know what I'm saying. Now mind you, we could do shoujo. Shoujos are easy, you know what I'm saying. Slice of life are easy. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we could play. If you're talking about older shows. Sailor Moon would have been a hit.
Sailor Moon.
A live action version of Sailor Moon. Because it's mostly relationship based in the way it plays. Like the action only happens at the end of every episode.
Yeah, those are
that would be the biggest layup. So, that's sitting on a table. Netflix, put it out there. But let the streets have it.
My question is anybody gonna get Dragon Ball Z right though?
Nobody could get Dragon Ball Z right.
It's crazy
it can't. It's just the way the story is structured, the way the fighting happens. You can never get Dragon Ball Z right. I know a lot of you would like to see a live action Dragon Ball Z and have it be, grand. Maybe it could work for one movie, but it can't. It could work for probably one movie, but it can't work as a series because what are they doing on episode 7? You can't tell me what's happening on episode 4.
Every show is basically just a fight. Hey, somebody coming up and fade them out. Hey, who you is? Fade. That's what it is.
As crazy as it is, Dragon Ball plays like a monster of the week situation.
It does.
So that would become repetitive for a lot of people, and they'd stop watching the show.
What about Power Rangers? Power Rangers is basically the same thing.
Man, who the heck is watching Power Rangers type stuff nowadays?
You like that?
The stories now have to be a little more deeper for some people, and I don't think Dragon Ball would do. Now, if we're gonna play with a little bit of a budget, Hunter x Hunter. I think Hunter x Hunter would be great. Now, don't get me wrong. The fan base would probably be like 80% male.
I think Hunter x Hunter would do well in the beginning. But once you get to like the Chimera ants, I ain't gonna lie. I think
nah.
Because like the hunter exam and all that's doing, we'll just run in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I said the budget would be a little.
That kind of, you know what I would like?
What?
But I think again, just like Jujutsu Kaisen, I think the budget would be too crazy. Bleach would be a really good one. Sword fighting,
would.
All that stuff. But them Bankais, no.
The Bankais would break.
That's gonna run.
That would break the budget.
Bankai, that's gonna run.
We get one Bankai per season.
Yeah, they're gonna build up all the way to the end of the season. So like, as far as like, but again, outside of the Bankais, it's very doable. Sword fighting, you know what I'm saying? We've seen that before. Monsters, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely doable. But I just think with the Bankais, that's gonna be the hardest part.
What slice of life anime do you think would go perfect and be a hit?
Well, see, I'm gonna be biased because I like what I like. So for me, School Days,
okay,
fire. Even though everybody who knows School Days it gets gruesome at the end, but it's a special one to my heart, and also Toradora. You know what I'm saying? Which again, very easy. Main character, girl, help each other become friends, and then they end up falling in love. Very simple show. You know what I'm saying? So,
the creator of One Punch Man. Mob Psycho would do real good.
Oh, that's
and Mob Psycho, because of the theme of mental health, so on and so forth, everybody would kind of get what they want, right?
Yeah,
and the kind of love interest between him and the girl. So you get your little relationship situation, you get your mental health situation, you get your depression situation, and we get action fighting.
But let me ask
that would be a hit.
The question is, are the actors gonna be ugly? Because Mob Psycho's drawing, everybody knows Mob Psycho's drawing is kind of subpar.
You're not going to
hey, they gotta be one-on-one adaptation. They gotta have weird looking faces. You gotta be one-on-one. If you out here getting all pretty people, I'm gonna be like, hey, this ain't Mob, bro. I need some misshapen heads. I need some craziness.
Nah, you can't get ugly people, man. You can probably get away with the TV ugly where you slap some braces on somebody and say that they're ugly.
They have like pimples. If they all pretty people, bro, this ain't Mob, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's not Mob, bro.
But I think Mob would be one of the ones that I think would be doing very well. Mm-hmm. Now, what action, is there anything with robots that you feel would do good? Because I think that would be very difficult. And I think
Gungrave would do well. Gunslinger Girl will also do well. So like for me, that's the ones I'm leaning towards. But like, I don't know, like, you don't really care about the video game animes, but from y'all know, Shangri-La Frontier would be fire, and also Sword Art Online. Now, mind you, again, the reason why it's easier is because it is a video game, and we've seen Player One, we've seen what's that Ryan Reynolds movie? The Good Guy. This is called The Good Guy, whatever. Where he's in a video game as well. So we've seen movies where these guys they go into video games and all this stuff is going on, whatever. Even the Mario movie, technically. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's all CGI.
The series we're about to finish with Tokyo Revengers?
Yeah.
I
think they have a live action for that one though.
They?
Yeah.
I have to dig.
I think, but like again, it's not popular. This is popular for people who follow Tokyo Revengers, but I think they do have a live action. I don't really watch it. To be honest with you, like.
I'm just saying, if you're talking about one of the larger studios in America pieced it together, that's an easy one to do.
Absolutely.
That's a gimme. You should be able to do that one.
That one, because again, there's no powers, just fighting. That's
straight up walking around town. That's a relationship, gangs. The fights aren't that crazy, so that one you should be able to do. That one should be a hit.
You know what? When you don't watch this anime, but Blue Exorcist would be really dope. You know what I'm saying?
Haven't started that one yet.
Blue Exorcist, really cool. You know what I'm saying? Kid's a demon. He, you know what I'm saying, puts his demon powers on a sword. Now, I mean, besides Blue Fire, it's pretty doable. You know what I'm saying? He has a tail, whatever. That's easy. Like I said, they do that in a lot of live action and regular TV shows anyway. So for me, those are the ones like I said, if they wanted to, bro, they could do a lot of, especially because what they spent on Avatar.
Yeah.
None of these things they pale in comparison to what I spent on Avatar. So for me, like now with the way CGI is and stuff like that, and the money budget is there, it wouldn't spend. I think a lot of these shows could be really well, adapted live actions. The problem is that these great shows need to stay as great shows. Don't try to adapt it and change it to what you want it to be, because then people are not gonna tune in. But if they just okay, this is a really good show. We want to adapt it, whatever. Talk to, and I love what Netflix has done with the whole One Piece thing and getting involved with the creator of the show and saying how would it be best to adapt that series. I think they should do that with every live action, because again, the writer of the show, the story, is gonna know what best part you could probably take out or shorten up, whatever, instead of just you guys making that decision, because you might cut out something that is really important.
Well, we gave them some ideas, so Netflix, HBO, Max, whatever, get it done.
Call us. You know what I'm saying? We can make a show for you. I'm like, I don't know, like, how that fight, like, because again, is it gonna be a situation where he's hiding from Zoro the whole time? I don't know. Because I feel like the Devil Fruit to me is not that great, especially, you know what I'm saying, like,
as a swordsman to become invisible. That's kind of good.
I think the Warp Fruit fits Von Augur better than Shidorian's invisibility fruit. But eating with Zoro in it, you know me. Zoro is my favorite.
I think it's gonna
eating with Zoro in it is gonna be lit. So
I think it's gonna boil down to Zoro. Every time Zoro goes for an attack, he's gone, right? I think he's gonna utilize it in that fashion. So we're gonna keep seeing them going sword for sword, disappear, and you already know he's got hockey too.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out, like, because for instance, like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like certain matchups are just really, like, for instance, obviously the top matchup, Blackbeard versus Luffy.
Oh,
it's gonna be
earth-shattering
fight. Literally, like, it's gonna be so good because of multiple reasons. One, even if he uses Yami Yami fruit, you know what I'm saying, most of what Luffy does is just punching and kicking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Luffy has Haki, which even like that just canceled that out as well.
Yeah.
And plus, you know what I'm saying, with the Quake fruit and Luffy turning into Gear 5, how is that gonna play out? Is Gear 5 gonna be, you know what I'm saying, impervious to the Yami Yami fruit? How, like, you know what I'm saying, and from what we know right now, I don't think I've seen Luffy use Haki and Gear 5 together. Is that gonna be a thing? Is he gonna be able to cope, you know what I'm saying, his ability with Haki during Gear 5? So there's a lot of questions that's going to be asked during this fight with Blackbeard.
Well, here's what makes Blackbeard, I think, an even tougher enemy. Blackbeard acknowledged during the Law fight, is that his fruit awakening? Which means Blackbeard is very well aware that you can awaken fruit. Blackbeard has 2 fruits inside of him. Can he awaken both fruits? How dangerous would Blackbeard be with 2 devil fruits that are already just OP devil fruits awakened?
Again, that is a very interesting point as far as that. Plus, the other thing I find very interesting with this is the mindset of Luffy and Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Because people don't think, like, Blackbeard is the opposite of Luffy. They both are dreamers. They both, you know what I'm saying, have lofty goals. But we forget that Blackbeard was one of the people who said the One Piece is real. Blackbeard, you know what I'm saying, kind of seen eye to eye with Luffy in certain parts, but I just think there's a dichotomy there. There's you know what I'm saying, 2 sides of the same coin. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that's gonna be a really interesting part of this whole battle. Especially because, you know what I'm saying, the whole Ace thing, how is Luffy going? And again,
Luffy hates Blackbeard.
Exactly. So
it's rare that he actually hates him. He doesn't really hate. Like, you seen the fight with Kaido, there was a mutual respect. They were playing around, if you will. He hates Blackbeard. Every time he gets on the phone with Blackbeard, every time they cross paths, it's like, I hate you. And I can't wait to see you again.
Think about it this way. Luffy always says, when I turn to Gear 5, that's when I'm freest. That's when, you know what I'm saying? Is that gonna impede or the hatred for Blackbeard? Is that gonna impede him going to Gear 5? Because obviously Joy Boy, you know what I'm saying, the idea of he's very happy and all that stuff. Will he be able to use his Gear 5 because of his hatred? Is that gonna impede his ability to change? That's another aspect that you gotta think about.
Yeah, that's an aspect. But I will say this though. Also, this might be the fight where we lose a Straw Hat.
True.
I've always thought that.
True.
I always have a feeling that one of the Straw Hats will pass, and I think if Oda's gonna do it, it'll probably be during the Blackbeard fight. It won't be some other battle between some other crew and we lose a Nami or something like that. Nah. You save that right there for Blackbeard.
But you know, I've said this. I know who I think the crew members are gonna die is.
Who did you say again?
I think Usopp's gonna die. As much as I love Usopp, I think he's gonna
do it.
I believe he's gonna cheat his dream first, and he's gonna beat Von Augur, but he's also gonna die in this fight, which would signify him being a brave warrior to see. And you know what I'm saying, to be honest with you, Usopp's he's not as vital. He's one of the least vital members of the crew.
Man, just take
Nami's
Frankie.
Nami's the navigator. You can't get rid of Nami.
Get rid of Frank.
You can't get rid of him.
I love Frankie. Don't do Frankie.
He fixed the ship. If something
Man,
happens,
the adventure's over. The ship don't need no more fixing.
You need Frankie to fix the ship.
Nah.
You need Chopper as the doctor to heal. You need Nami to navigate. You know what I'm saying? You need Nico Ramen to read the pony grips and all that stuff.
Brooke.
You need it.
It's music.
You need a musician. You need a musician.
No, you do not.
And he's
take
bones.
Brooke or Frankie.
How you
Take
gonna kill a soul? How you gonna kill a soul?
The man can't be eternal. Like there's got to be a way to beat technically Brooke.
Only person who would be able to kill him is Blackbeard, because he'll have to use his Yami fruit to stop his soul from, I guess, staying attached to the bones. If you want to look at it that way. But
he crushed the bones into powder or whatever. That should do it, I guess.
As much as I love Usopp. Usopp's a great character. I just think he is the least vital character. To the Straw Hat's journey.
He holds the whole team together. That's the god.
That's Cap. He is not. You know what I'm saying? As much as I love Usopp, I think he's the one that's gonna go. And he's gonna go in a great way. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, guns blazing, whatever. He's gonna take out Von Augur, and then he's gonna be Luffy.
Well, we still don't know.
Am I a brave warrior yet? Yes, Usopp.
Chopper.
You know what I'm saying?
Chopper. Is he gonna fight? What's that giant thing?
He has to fight a giant.
I don't see how Chopper beats this thing.
I think it's gonna be like a Choji, Naruto situation. He gonna have a special rumble ball for this one. He gonna put out a super rumble ball. You know what I'm saying?
This thing is the size of an island. It just moves around in the background half the time.
Like, super rumble ball, and it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. I'm telling you, he's
gonna need help. That's gonna be a fight where he needs help. He's gonna need Frankie.
Everybody's getting their one-on-ones. Everybody's soloing everybody, bro. This is.
You think everybody's soloing everybody?
Everybody's soloing. It is what it is. This is. Again,
y'all gotta let me know in the comment section if y'all think that's true. Y'all think people are soloing people?
It's solo everybody. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Nami is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Zeus is gonna be able to fuse with Nami or some crap like that. She's gonna be like a lightning god type. It's gonna be the most lit ever. I'm telling you, bro. This is the moment when everybody turns into like their final form. What their journey culminated in. Chopper's Super Rumble Ball. Nami's gonna be able to find a way to fuse with Zeus, or they're gonna do some crap, whatever, but she's gonna unlock some extra power or whatever. Nico, we already seen her turn into
Demon Rico now.
Demon Nico Robin. You know what I'm saying? Frankie.
Sanji. Who is he lining up? Who are they gonna line him up with?
Sanji. The strength. I think he's fighting the strength dude.
The strong fruit.
Strong fruit. Which I think is kind of redundant. But you know what I'm saying? I want to see how that plays out.
Man. He's tossing mountains.
He's definitely tossing. Again, so for me with Sanji, I would love to see, maybe he turns the whole body on fire, or I'm telling you, because I'm trying to figure out what, he raised under blue flame and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you gotta turn his whole body on fire now. That's just, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna turn into some fiery demon or whatever. Something's gonna happen.
Unlock his family's genetic gene.
Yeah, just a super healing factor or whatever it is. Turn the whole body on fire and what, you know what I'm saying? Burgess, isn't it?
Burgess, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's gonna be epic, because this is, I think, that moment. There's gonna be a few moments that are gonna be iconic. That moment, and I already said before, I think One Piece ends when they fight the Marines. You know what I'm saying? Those two moments.
Not Blackbeard, the Marines.
I don't think Blackbeard's the last battle. I think Blackbeard, you know what I'm saying, they're probably gonna fight Blackbeard right when they get to Raftel. They're probably gonna get there at the same time, whatever. Mm-hmm. He beats them, he stops, whatever. They find out what the One Piece is. He actually says what his real dream is. And then the real bad guy is the Marines, you know what I'm saying, in their situation. And that's gonna be the final culmination of the battle.
Well, we're gonna have to see that. But before we move to the next segment, let's take a cosplay break.
Movie theaters have been struggling year after year, but one anomaly has been Japanese anime selling out constantly, which shows that there is a very high demand. And with a slew of phenomenal films coming, we have to ask the question, will anime movies save theaters?
I believe so. I mean, for me, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't go to movies anymore. I went to stuff in Netflix or whatever. The only thing I have to see in the big screen is anime movies. Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, you know what I'm saying, Chainsaw Man. Ooh. That's the only reason I'm going to the theaters. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, one, I don't want kids kicking my chair. I don't want popcorn on the ground. And one thing I like about the anime movies is that because we watch them in sub, I got like, you know what I'm saying, teenagers and adults in there reading because kids don't want to read.
Yeah,
you feel
true.
me? So I never got to worry about, you know what I'm saying, the terrorization of young children. And then the way it looks on the big screen is iconic. So for me, and obviously we've seen that even when they have limited theaters, like Demon Slayer, when it came out, it was on limited theaters. It was outselling movies that were made in America that had a major release. So I definitely think they're gonna save movie theaters.
Yeah, I will say that if the theaters that I've been to were packed.
Yes.
Every single show sold out. You're trying to get the right time. The times are oh, this one's booked, that one booked. Let me try to get a seat in here. All the time, every movie that's released, anime wise, is like that. So I do believe if we're getting wider releases, they're dedicating more theater rooms to it, they can save movie theaters. Movie theaters have obviously been struggling because of the lack of quality that Hollywood has been putting out.
Trash that they've been putting out. It's been straight garbage.
But I will say that anime fans are growing even larger now. And since we have a wider demographic, male, female, age range, so on and so forth, they can definitely save movie theaters. And this year, there's a lot for us to go see.
And the thing is, with anime fans, they're super loyal, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they will, like, come out in droves. I mean, again, as an anime fan that's been an anime fan for a very long time, I remember when they first started putting movies, anime movies in theaters. Bro, it was on like 1 or 2 theaters. I'm driving 20, 30 minutes to go see an anime movie in the theater. So, like, for me, like, I know for a fact, and every time I've been to them, it's always been packed. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, anime fans they'll drive the distance. They'll put in the time. They'll schedule. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I don't see that happening anymore with the Marvels, with the, you know what I'm saying, Harry Potters and things of that nature because of all this controversy. So for me, like, the only thing movie theaters really can hang their hats on is the anime movies or Pixar, you know what I'm saying? Anything like
even Pixar has had flops now.
You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of these movies they're just mid, bro. A lot of them are mid and people are like, especially because they're so skeptical of all the, you know, stuff that we've been putting in movies, people like would rather wait till the movie get on TV and they can peruse it that way instead of spending their money and being upset or walking out in the middle of it.
I can't think of an anime movie this year that won't do well.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man is going to do numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is going to do numbers. It's just going to be a great year for film when it comes to anime.
And then the thing is that these are all like even the smaller ones do well, but like all the movies that are coming out are top studios. Mappa, you know what I'm saying, UFO Table, like they're gonna be doing the craziest stuff with this animation. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, we already see what, you know what I'm saying, Demon Slayer and One Piece and you know what I'm saying, Jujutsu Kaisen and all these are doing. Like I don't see how they're gonna be. I don't see any flops. I just don't. And again, like,
and you may get surprises also.
Exactly, and
because they're really good at hiding that they're putting something out. Yeah. We'll watch a show and then all of a sudden you hear a movie's coming and you're like, a movie? When? Like what? In a few months? That still creates that element of surprise. With American stuff, people are already digging up. They're taking pictures of sets. They're leaking everything. Yeah. You already know the script now. Like, nobody's doing it better than the Japanese. It is what it is. The Japanese are doing phenomenal work.
And I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying? As a manga reader, I've never had a problem reading a manga and watching an anime because it feels like two different worlds. I read One Piece manga. It's great. I love it. But when you see that bit animated, it's a different world. It literally brings it to life. So even like when they, like, for instance, in your regular movies and stuff. They'll leak sets and stuff like whatever. It's you're not gonna get that same feeling because you know what I'm saying, you'll know the story or whatever. I know what's gonna happen in One Piece, but the light flares, the CGI, the animation, it literally takes you to a whole nother world. So even though I know it's coming, like, and then again, it's just still pictures. So like this, they only can show it in so many ways. They'll show lines dashing, but then when you see the movement, when you see the slowdown, when you see the light flares, when you see the emotion, and then that's another thing that's always, you know, done it for me with anime movies or whatever, is the voices, the passion that they have in their shows, in their movies. It pales in comparison to any other thing. I watch it.
That's why it has to be subbed.
That's why it has to be subbed. So when I'm like, I see it in the big screen and you hear surround sound of, you know what I'm saying, of their emotion, bro, it gives you goosebumps. Like there's no way, like that's why I know it can say movie theaters, because you can't replicate that feeling. Even if, like, you know what I'm saying, you have surround sound in your home, but when you go to IMAX and you see and you hear the rumbling, come on, man. It's
you got the 32 speakers firing.
Come on, man.
You're hearing the character scream. I look around the theater and everybody's leaning forward. Like, this screen takes up almost half the building and everybody's still leaning forward like, oh my God. Like, we're knee deep in.
When Tanjiro's like, Jono! You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh my God!
Throwing
sis.
this-
Ah! You know what I'm saying? You can't replicate it. So for me, it's like, I have to watch it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't miss that moment. And then the other reason why we love it is because after the movie, you're with your people.
Yeah.
You can, like, everyone gets together
People you relate to.
and you know what I'm saying, convene about how great the movie was, what they love about the animation. And it brings, like I said, just like a convention, it brings all the anime fans together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for me,
No disrespect. People are like, wait, you know, I don't want to spoil. Like they're
know what
trying
I'm saying?
to, you know, they're giving you a warning. Like, hey, you know, I'm not gonna spoil this for you. I'm not gonna go any further. But you know, they just want to share that experience.
and the fans, to be honest with you, some of them come in cosplay, stuff like that. You'll see, like, again, it's a movement, it's a moment. Just like the Black Panther, you know what I'm saying, when that came out, everybody came out with garbs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was a movement, it was a moment. These anime movies are the same way because these are diehard fans that are into Demon Slayer, that read every chapter, like diehard fans that, you know what I'm saying, you know, started reading Chainsaw Man from the very beginning and love this story. So for me, like, there's multiple reasons why I think this could, and obviously just, you know what I'm saying, concession stands.
Yeah.
Like, they're making money, that, you know what I'm saying, is bringing in revenue, is bringing in, you know what I'm saying, just relevance in general. So it definitely can say movie theaters. The only thing I would say is put it in more movie theaters, because that's been their biggest bugaboo, that they'll do it like 1 or 2 movie theaters, but it's outselling everything else. If you get this thing like a you know what I'm saying, nationwide release, you know how much money you would make. But you know, we'll see.
Well, I think movie theater owners are starting to learn that, and if they want to do something live action, right, and put it in theaters and really make some money, the One Piece live action, if after the season they announce a movie with a $150 million budget, $200 million budget with that same cast, but they're doing a part of the art in a movie.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, the money they would make.
And that's the thing. They can do so many different things. You know what I'm saying? And what I love about it as well is with traditional movies, people age out. People, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be in the role for so long. But with anime, it's a gift that keeps on giving. As long as the anime show is out, or you know what I'm saying, whatever, it's still being brand, you can constantly drop movie after movie after movie. I mean, we see now they're bringing even the old anime movies like Princess Mononoke and all that. They're bringing those back to the theaters.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just a gift that keeps on giving, and because the anime fan base is constantly growing and growing and growing, and has gotten way bigger over the years. Now you got people selling out theaters, you know what I'm saying, to watch old anime movies that we used to watch on TV. You know what I'm saying? So, or remastered. So I think it definitely can save the theaters, and if they're smart, I'm putting my horse behind that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna come. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot of things that have been home runs as far as movies in general. All the anime movies have been home runs.
Well, shoot, y'all better make it happen.